Right now at noon, the city of Joplin steps up its efforts in the fight against a summertime pest.
And we've still got mostly sunny skies across the 4 states. Got that south breeze ushering in warm temperatures. Thunderstorms still on the way tonight, though. We'll take a look at that forecast coming up.
Yesterday came together for the start of Galena Days.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, Parsons, Kansas authorities applaud the efforts of Good Samaritans who helped rescue a family from a house fire. This is KOAM News at noon. I'm Elise Snowy. Police are releasing more information about the victims of a fire that broke out at a home on South 22nd Street in Parsons Wednesday afternoon. They say a mother and 3 young daughters were all taken to a Tulsa hospital by a medical helicopter. One of those daughters, a baby, is now in the care of relatives. The other 2 girls are ages 5 years and 18 months. No word yet on their current conditions or the condition of the mother. A man and a young boy apparently escaped from the home unharmed. Police tell us they've been talking with a number of Good Samaritans who helped rescue family members from the home and helped EMS with the initial triage. Investigators are trying to determine the cause of the fire. Now let's check in with Chris Warner for a look at the forecast.
Yeah, quick look outside from MoDOT camera 32nd and range line, and you can see a few clouds. Otherwise, we've got sunny skies and temperatures warming up. Same from our camera on the Cornell Complex downtown Joplin. That south wind ushering in those warmer temperatures for us today. Yesterday, just a wee bit below normal. We started at 58, made it up to 81, so not significantly cooler, but still cool for this time of year. However, that is definitely not the case today. Look at these temperatures, low, mid, and even upper 80s already out there, and we're still expected to warm just a little more into upper 80s, and again, a couple of 90-degree readings still look possible. We could have a stray shower or two this evening, and the clouds are going to increase as we head late into tonight, and then around after 10 p.m. out west and gradually through the rest of the area overnight, we'll start to see increasing shower and thunderstorm chances. Some of those storms could be strong to severe. We're going to break that all down for you in the full forecast here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
Thanks, Chris. Well, a couple of weeks before the official start of summer, and Joplin's mosquito fogging efforts are well underway. KOAM's Amber Jenkins has more.
The Joplin Health Department's fogging season started in April. According to the Assistant Director of Health, the need for spraying increased after a wet spring.
It's primarily complaint driven, which the complaints are tied to how much rainfall we're getting. We get more complaints during the rainier times of the year, and so that drives more demand, and so we're fogging more during those times.
Blankenship says the chemical used is not a restricted use pesticide. It can even be bought over the counter.
So the fog itself, we apply that at like 4 in the morning. We try to avoid people and pets. If we see anyone out, we'll terminate those operations. It typically dissipates in about 15 minutes.
The fog truck is targeting parks in wooded areas. According to the assistant director, residents can take their own precautions to combat the mosquitoes.
Some hot spots could be bird baths, swimming pools, cleaning out your gutters. Those are really good places for mosquito larvae to grow. They catch, water and leaf debris, and they're shaded. So,
reporting in Joplin, Amber Jenkins, KOAM News.
The Joplin Health Department's fogging season ends late July. Well, seafood lovers in Joplin may soon need to dine elsewhere. Red Lobster, the company which became the world's largest seafood restaurant chain, filed for bankruptcy last month and wants to shutter several dozen more restaurants. The Joplin location is on the list of possible locations to close, and the seafood chain says it had more than $1 billion in debt and less than $30 million in cash on hand. Closure of the Joplin location will be based on whether it can renegotiate its lease. Red Lobster has already shuttered 50 of its 600 locations. The Joplin History and Mineral Museum yesterday hosted a public meeting to discuss the Dover Outdoor Recreation Area, also known as DORA. The project revolves around biking activities for people of different skills and all ages. It would develop nearly 100 acres located south of Zora Avenue and east of Lone Elm Road. At yesterday's meeting, residents placed sticky notes of their ideas on a map of the project.
It's very exciting, mostly because I think it's very needed in our community. Thinking about just building better infrastructure for bike and walking trails, I think is very needed in our community. Mostly if it's going to be a protected park where folks of all different skills can access it and be a part of it as well.
The project will include more than 10 miles of bike trails, a pump track, and more. Mercy Cancer Center in Joplin yesterday hosted a picnic for cancer survivors. The picnic had a 60s and 70s theme, and guests were able to learn about the stories of survivors and care teams who celebrate their survivorship with them.
This is something that the staff and everyone looks forward to so much. It's a celebration of life, and for everyone who has fought the battle, is fighting the battle, or will fight the battle. We're here. It's a chance to have fellowship and good times.
Attendees were also able to paint a rock for Mercy's Rock Garden. Folks in Galena, Kansas yesterday came together for the start of Galena Days. Last night's festivities included a dinner, live music, and a drawing for some prizes. Officials say the 3-day event is a great way to spend time with family and connect with the community. The event continues through Saturday with carnival rides, more prizes, and live music. There's also a special night in Frontenac as the Heritage Homecoming Mining Days kicked off. There was a silent auction, food and craft vendors, historical bus tours, and an old-fashioned carnival. The event is a celebration of the Frontenac community and its coal mining history. It runs through Sunday. Well, coming up, more than 1 trillion plastic pieces are floating in the ocean, and now 2 organizations are leading a massive effort to clean the ocean. And later, we're making summer's best tomato pie in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. $1.8 trillion plastic pieces were estimated to be floating in a patch of the world's ocean. That's equivalent to 250 pieces of debris for every human in the world. Ahead of World Ocean Day tomorrow, CBS's Danya Bacchus shows us how 2 organizations are teaming up to clean up the ocean.
All this plastic waste is coming from the ocean, collected from what's known as the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, an area twice the size of Texas, located in the Pacific Ocean between Hawaii and California.
It's beautiful open ocean, and you see a toothbrush just floating by. You see a kid's toy floating by. So you realize that, the extent of the pollution that we caused is so vast.
Matthias Eggers with the nonprofit organization The Ocean Cleanup. Since 2013, it's developed technology like the System 3 that's capable of cleaning an area of ocean equivalent to a football field every 5 seconds.
We managed to develop a system that catches plastic but not marine life. And that's the tricky part, right?
Now, thanks to a $15 million grant from the Helmsley Charitable Trust, the Ocean Cleanup will be able to scale up its removal operation.
This is truly a global problem.
Walter Panzier is a trustee for the trust. He says the grant will help remove 15 million pounds of plastic from the ocean before it breaks down and turns into microplastics.
It's so important to keep a body of water clean and pristine for the environment, because this is having negative impact on the animals as well living in the ocean. A diet of plastic is not good for humans. It's not good for animals. It's not good for anything.
The Ocean Cleanup has removed over 760,000 pounds of plastic, more than twice the weight of the Statue of Liberty, and it plans to keep going until the oceans are clean. Danya Bacchus, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Plastic extracted by the Ocean Cleanup is recycled and transformed into durable plastic products. The United Nations Weather Agency says there is an 80% chance we'll pass the global temperature target laid out in the Paris Climate Accord in the next 5 years. The World Meteorological Organization is saying the global near surface temperatures from now until 2028 will be hotter than at the start of the industrial era. The UN Secretary mentioning the report during a speech about the threat of climate change during World Environment Day. The EU's climate service says last month was the hottest May on record. The burning of fossil fuels, gas, oil, and coal is said to be the main contributor from human activity to global warming. Also to come on KOAM News at noon, Mr. Food.
It's time to name a best food buy. Tomatoes, and they're about as versatile as they come. Just wait until you see what we're going to make with them.
And we're tracking weekend thunderstorm chances out there. Some of those could be strong to severe. We'll have a look at your forecast when we come back. Welcome back to the KOAM News at noon. So as promised this morning, we've got mostly sunny skies out there, just a few clouds overhead. However, we're keeping an eye on the possibility of strong to severe thunderstorms as we head into the overnight hours tonight, very early tomorrow morning. So here's a look at the latest severe threats. This has not changed much since the update earlier this morning. We still have a low tornado risk, maybe an isolated tornado possible in parts of southeast Kansas and clipping some of southwest Missouri. A low to elevated hail risk. And as is this, it was the same case this morning, it's the same case now. Damaging wind gusts seem to be the primary concern. We have that elevated risk across a good portion of the area. So the expectation is a complex of storms off to our northwest will kind of get together and start surging south and east. Now it's expected still to be in a bit of a weakening trend by the time it reaches our area, but it may not be significantly weakened, and we could still get some strong damaging wind gusts and maybe some severe thunderstorms out of that activity. Some isolated spotty showers are still possible as we head later into the afternoon and into the early evening hours. These will be isolated. Not everyone will see rain out of this, but as we start to head late into tonight and into the overnight hours, that's where we're going to see these scattered thunderstorms out there, and this is going to be our window for strong to severe thunderstorms after midnight and let's say before 5 o'clock tomorrow morning. On our Saturday, though, we're looking at scattered showers, maybe a couple of thunderstorms, and as you can see, there will be periods where they'll be relatively isolated, and then as we go in late night Saturday into early Sunday morning, we'll have another round of showers and thunderstorms out there, and some of those could potentially be strong to severe as well. So there's that low to elevated risk for us for today, and then across the entire region tomorrow, and I guess it's really more for tomorrow night into Sunday morning, we have a low end risk for some strong to low grade severe storms, and then on our Sunday we're looking at just scattered thunderstorms at this point, nothing severe. Again, few clouds from our camera at 7th and Range Line. It's 86 in Joplin. South breeze is at 7. Air is relatively dry right now, so technically we have a wind chill of 1 degree. You're not going to be able to really notice that difference, but thanks to that southerly wind, temperatures well on their way to those highs into the upper 80s, and again, especially down south, a couple of 90-degree readings not out of the question. As you can see, we have warmed up quite nicely, low, mid, and upper 80s across the region. For the rest of today, again, on average, most of us looking to reach the upper 80s, but a couple of 90-degree readings not out of the question. South winds around 5 to 10 miles an hour. Overnight tonight, we'll have those scattered thunderstorms after 10. Best chances for strong to potentially severe storms after midnight, and the south wind picks up a bit, gusting to 25, and we also stay fairly mild, only falling back down to 70. And then we'll have those on again, off again thunderstorms throughout the day Saturday, ahead of another complex of storms tomorrow night that'll bring the possibility of some strong storms Sunday or Saturday night into Sunday. We're going to be warmer, about 89 on average, which means some low 90s, not out of the questions, and the winds out of the southwest, but still gusty, pushing 25 miles an hour. Thunderstorms again continue at least through Monday. No severe weather expected so far beyond that point, but it does cool us down into the upper 70s as we head into Tuesday of next week as well. But by Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we will start to clear out and have an opportunity to warm back up ahead of some additional isolated shower and thunderstorm chances as we head into next weekend. So if you got something to do, enjoy it today, because it's going to be a little rainy this weekend. Unfortunately, at this point, looking to be rainy next weekend as well.
All righty. Thanks, Chris. And stick around. We're making summer's best tomato pie in the Mr. Food Test kitchen. We'll be right back. Howard is sharing his recipe for summer's best tomato pie in the Mr. Food Test kitchen.
The other day, I was so excited when I saw freshly picked tomatoes at the market. I'm talking about tomatoes that really taste like tomatoes and not ones that just look pretty. So today, I'm naming tomatoes the best food buy of the week. As a matter of fact, for the whole summer. I know we all have a long list of ways to use them, but we came up with a new and sort of unusual way that I want to share with you. We start by whisking together an egg, heavy cream, a bit of mayo, some shredded mozzarella, and some spices. We set that aside for a sec while we slice a handful of ruby red tomatoes and stack them in a par-baked pie crust. Now we pour the cream mixture over them and sprinkle on some Parmesan cheese before popping it in the oven until it passes the toothpick test. When this comes out of the oven all melty delicious, we want to let it cool slightly before digging in. I can promise that's not going to be an easy task. But once you taste how fresh and creamy it is, I know you're going to want the recipe for what we call Summer's Best Tomato Pie. And it's online now. This is the perfect recipe to take advantage of all those freshly picked tomatoes. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a fresh picked way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
You can, of course, find this recipe along with a lot more good food from the Mr. Food Test Kitchen online. Just go to our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. Now, here's a look at the 4-state market prices.
All right, so we got those thunderstorm chances increasing as we head into the overnight hours. Some strong to severe thunderstorms are possible, with damaging wind gusts at this point being the primary concern. And again, don't forget, could see a stray shower storm this afternoon, evening, but most of us dry. Scattered thunderstorms on our Saturday and into our Sunday. Some strong storms possible Saturday night into Sunday. Thunderstorm chances continue through Tuesday, and through Monday. Then we'll get a break Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. More isolated storms to close out next week.
Just can't kick the rain.
We can't. We've needed it, but
Yeah.
it'd be nice to get a break, especially on a weekend.
Right. Absolutely. Alrighty, well, coming up tonight at 5, many counties in the U.S. do not have hospitals for OB services for expecting moms. We're going to see how one organization is trying to bridge that gap by rolling out mobile units with ultrasound technology in cities lacking care and to help women lacking insurance. Plus, with the numerous storms and heavy rainfall over the past couple of months, farmers are expressing concerns about possible issues with their wheat crops. And hundreds of kids in Neosho look to reel in a good time as they take part in this year's Kids Fishing Derby. You can join us for those stories and more on KOAM News at 5. And that's the news for now. Thank you for joining us on KOAM News at noon. Have a great rest of your day.